Previously, he felt relieved to see her safe. He started making a new weapon and completed it, creating a divine thread, only to be attacked by Sun, the former squad leader. Now to the next chapter. He mocks Sun Woogan, commenting that he saved him the trouble of going to find him. He questions if Sun should be thanking him for coming instead. Hearing this, Sun becomes more angry. He puts more energy into his sword, thinking the protagonist is acting cocky. He'll remind him of his place. But the protagonist just smiles and questions if Sun really thinks he can cut his weapon. In that moment, the protagonist shatters Sun's sword. Sun is confused and shocked. As the protagonist adjusts his new weapon, Sun becomes worried. He knows he must do something. He jumps back, creating space between them as he watches the protagonist swing his weapon around. With his weapon ready, the protagonist walks towards Sun and comments that he grabbed a random weapon so he wouldn't leave any traces that he was the one who did this. This is smart. He's avoiding any evidence that could connect him to the fight. The protagonist questions Sun on how long he thinks he'll last without using his main weapon. The one he's trained with, the one he's comfortable with. He readies himself and goes to attack. Many strings of energy are thrown at Sun from everywhere. Sun stands there, confused about what's happening. He doesn't have time to think. He wonders where the attack is coming from and gets ready to defend as the attack closes in on him. The protagonist watches with a keen eye. He thinks that Sun is going to use his energy to protect himself. He'll focus on defense. But seeing this, the protagonist moves his hand. It glows with blue energy. He thinks he'll just adjust the attack a little bit and show Sun what a divine attack looks like from a true secret art. The threads are now grouping together and create a larger thread. This is the first technique, the flawless divine thread art. It's one of the secret arts of the Divine Maiden sect. The attack shoots past Sun's side of the head. Feeling the attack of the enhanced thread strike, Sun takes a knee from the strike. His face contorts in pain and shock. The protagonist states that since it's come to this, there's no reason for him to hide. Sun has already lost one ear. He comments that Sun should have attacked with everything he had from the start. This angers Sun. He goes for his main weapon and draws it out. He lunges toward the protagonist, screaming that he should shut up. Gathering energy into his attack, he knows that only a complete energy sword can be matched with the same attack or better. But he laughs to himself, stating that the protagonist would never have such a skill to match his attack. As he closes in for the final strike, thinking he's already won, something changes. The protagonist adjusts his attack. The sword connects, blasting through the door of the building. As the dust settles, Sun is the one pushed back. He's hurt and confused. "What just happened to me?" he gasps. The protagonist glows bright with blue energy. He just used the second technique of the flawless divine thread art circle guard. The threads combined to create a shield that protected him. Sun questions how it's possible for thread to make a shield like that. Why would he even use thread for defense? Dusting himself off, the protagonist comments that it's because Sun's sword strike is too weak, but he states it's too early for him to give up. The Divine Maiden sect's flawless divine thread art isn't something simple like an iron guard that just hardens skin. This is completely different. He adjusts his weapon and thinks about how the threads reinforce what they wrap around like armor. It might look like normal thread, but it's actually made from sky metal. It's been strengthened further with his flawless divine thread art, and it can easily block most skills like a thunder bomb. He sends his attack at Sun. Sun is hit. With his arm hurt, he now knows the true danger he's in. He questions if the protagonist is a monster. The protagonist steps forward with an overpowering aura. He states that Sun's skills are not that great for someone who was showing such confidence earlier. Sun can only think that this is a monster in front of him. Frustrated at his situation, he thinks about how this weakling could have such power and skills. But the protagonist comments that he shouldn't show such fear. He can't end him here. He has to hand him over to the law enforcement hall. But his eyes turn to a devious look and he comments that he can't just let him go without giving him the same lesson he gave Li Hozong. Hearing this, Sun is now worried. He would rather be ended than have that life. He thinks he can't let that happen. He must not let his core be damaged and turned into a cripple. He pours energy into his feet. This catches the protagonist's eyes, but it happens way too fast. He can only be left in shock as Sun dashes up at great speed and escapes through the roof. The protagonist comments that he thought Sun would fight to the end. Looking up, he comments that Sun has now created more work for him. Elsewhere in a bamboo forest, Sun is running for his life. He's hurt badly from the battle. He thinks about how he had to run away from such a weakling. Thinking back, he remembers those eyes. Those are the eyes a demonic martial artist would have. He stops for a moment to catch his breath. He thinks about how he poured all his energy into his footwork and looks back, thinking the protagonist shouldn't be able to track him. He walks slowly away, thinking he must come up with a plan. He thinks about his options. He knows the alliance won't take him back. He notes that he'll have no choice but to join a demonic sect, one that's not part of the alliance sects. He smiles, commenting that with the information he knows, he could get a decent position. But a voice interrupts him. Sun knows this voice. It comments that Sun will always be a traitor and will never change, even when he came back from the future. As Sun attacks, the protagonist can only comment that Sun must be more of an idiot than he thought. He chose to run to this place. He smiles with a sinister look and comments that this forest is special. The bamboo is stronger than it looks. This specific grove is known as the Black Bamboo Grove. Sun jumps back. He thinks he's in a bad spot. He doesn't have the energy to wield his sword right now. He dashes forward, thinking he'll just have to use his sword skills. He'll use a thrust to end the protagonist in one go. But something strange happens. He wonders why he's looking down. Looking up, he only sees his one foot is gone. He's confused. Just then, the protagonist uses his weapon and throws Sun back even further. Sun slams into the ground. The threads go around the bamboo and wrap around Sun's body, locking him in place. He screams in pain. The protagonist smiles, stating that his weapon has a tendency to not let go once it has trapped someone. But Sun notices something. The protagonist might have an innate core energy. Now he understands how this happened to him. He hangs there in the air, completely helpless. Not wanting to die, Sun calls out for him to be spared. He asks if the protagonist could forgive him once, stating that he wasn't thinking straight. But the protagonist comments that Sun is acting like a worm. He releases him from his weapon and states that Sun is to never show his face in front of him ever again for as long as he lives. Sun can only think about the young master of the Tang clan as he shows respect. The protagonist goes to leave. Sun, seeing his back turned, smiles happily. He goes to attack, commenting that the protagonist should learn this lesson in the next life, calling him an idiot. He states that if one lets their guard down, it's over for them. But just then, something hits his shoulder. He wonders what that was. It was a hidden dagger. The protagonist comments that Sun shouldn't worry. He wasn't surprised by his attack. With a cold look, he states that he never believed him from the start. The protagonist had already prepared for this. He knew Sun would try something. And now, Sun has learned the hard way that betraying someone like this has consequences.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like. It really helps me out.